You had been enjoying the morning, or, well, the time after you woke up. You and Fae were sitting in the lobby, both of you holding a set of cards in your hands, colorful numbers and the big letters of the word Uno on the back of each one. Your gaze studied Fae, who had a poker face like a stone that occasionally blinked. She didn't know your cards, and you didn't know that she mostly had reds with a few greens and one blue reverse card. What? Don't give me that. I'm just doing what I do. It's not cheating. And you seem to accept that as you place your wild card down and change the color to yellow. Oh, what? Come on. Faye complained as she drew a card with her little pout, breaking up her poker face. What are even the odds of that? About 1 in 4. Nichole spoke, winking with a little chuckle as she walked by toward the bar. Oh, shut up, Faye retorted as she dropped down the bright yellow 2 that she had drawn. You've got to be cheating somehow. Can you see my cards reflected in my bright, beautiful eyes or something? Read my mind? See the future? What? You just shake your head a little as to assure her none of those are true. As far as you know. There's a small pause as you feel a slight chill in the otherwise neutral air. The feeling crawls up your spine, and you start to look at the main entrance. But before you can speak, the sound of the door opening can be heard. The other door. The basement again.
Hey, folks. How are you lovely people doing this fine evening?
He was dressed in a nice white button-up with an open black suit jacket. A charming smile of gleaming white teeth with a clean-cut goatee, matching his handsome slicked-back black hair, though his eyes were hidden behind pitch-black sunglasses. He appeared a rather charismatic and hearty character, but something about him makes you shiver. Welcome in. Pleasure to see you again. Nichole didn't sound as welcoming as she usually did, but she didn't sound rude either.
Come on, Nikki. Can't you give me a little more energy than that? How about a nice big smile for old Morty?
Morty held the air of a Boston mobster recently put in a good mood. All smiles and laughs, but you feel if he was in a bad way, he would be a terrifying force. You lower your hand of cards, eyes looking to Morty as you lean toward Faye and ask her a simple question before she can get up to greet the man as well. Oh, that? That's Morty. His more common name is Death. You didn't want to believe Faye, but the feeling you got from the man made you trust the outlandish words of Faye's usual bullshit. He's a nice enough guy. Just don't shake his hand if he offers. You make a strong note of that as she gets up and finally makes her loud and excited greeting. Hey, you old coot. Doing good? I don't know if she's serious, but I think she was. No one else has touched him, offered a handshake or anything. Walter places a small glass of whiskey on the bar, ice clinking inside before Morty took it with a sharp,
Hey, thanks, big guy.
oh shit, he's looking at you.
And who do we got here? Another lost little soul wandering through?
He walks over to the table you sit at and leans his palms into the fern's surface, looking down at you with a strong smile. Though you can't see his eyes, you can feel them study you. Hey, leave the kid alone. They've got enough going on already without you.
Is that so? And is that your name? Kid?
He only spoke with a slightly more serious tone, but it felt like an interrogation, despite his charming smile. When you speak, voice a little tense, and tell him that it was very much not your name, but rather you didn't know what your name was. You can see one of his brows rise over the edge of his dark glasses.
Really now?
Yeah, not only that. Tell him about the voice in your head. The one that sounds like Katherine Heigl. Faye said, spouting your business around like it was her own, and Nichole sighed a little from her spot at the bar.
Katherine Heigl? You mean the Katherine Heigl that did charity work with Best Friends Animal Society and, what was it again? Donate Life America? That Katherine Heigl.
Still funny. You give him a slight nod of affirmation.
Damn, she's hot.
This is my favorite joke.
You know who I am, Little Cloud?
Little Cloud. His nickname for you was spoken with a honeyed flavor, accented by the coyness of his smile. You feel a tightness in your throat as you nodded, casting a glance to Faye, who was casually leaning back against the bar behind him, smirking deviously, as she usually did.
You do? Well, it's only polite to introduce myself either way. Name's Morty, but most know me as Death.
There was a slight sinister pride in his words as he produced them through a smirk. He outstretched his hand, innocuous and casual in the offer, but you look at it like he had just offered you someone else's severed limb, staying frozen. Before a sharp laugh as Morty throws his head back, clutching his stomach with one hand, and then slapping his knee with the other. I'll check it.
Oh man, gets me every time. That expression is priceless.
Faye laughs from the bar, and Nichole rolls her eyes as she leaned up and walked toward you. Don't worry, these two just share a similar type of humor. Morty isn't going to hurt you. Wait, so he's not Death? When you ask this, Nichole lifts her hands, waving them a little as if to take back something she said. Oh, no, he is. Well, one of them at least.
In the flesh. Or at least as much in the flesh as this plane of reality will allow.
I feel we shouldn't be surprised, but here we are. Morty swirls his golden drink before downing it in one smooth motion. He then drags air through his clenched teeth as if to cool his tongue against the burn. Could he even feel such things?
Never a dull moment around here, eh? Sweet cheeks.
You realize he was talking to Nichole. He gives her a different sort of attention compared to Faye, who he seemed to have a friendly relationship with. There was a tension of sorts from Nichole, and his interactions. She gave a small glance before turning to occupy her attention with her own drink. Just water. Just the usual, unusual stuff. You start to ask a question, but then you remember when a book on your shelf started yelling at you the other day, and Nichole had to come put them in timeout on another shelf. The usual, unusual sounded about right.
Well, could be worse then. I felt a little something the other day. Thought I was gonna be busy soon. Must have been the darkness showing up again, eh?
Well, yeah, but nothing major happened. No, yeah, nothing major. Just the possibility of widespread disaster.
Well, that means your little cloud here got to experience it, eh? What you think of that? Well, that means your little cloud here got to experience it, eh? Tell me, what you think of that?
Honestly, you hadn't put that much thought into it. After you expressed that, you raised the question of why he was calling you Little Cloud.
Eh? What's the matter? What you don't like it? you don't like Cloud. All right. Look, listen, I'll explain. I call you that because all you little mortals are just that to me. Clouds. You come in all shapes and colors and sizes, and you're all fun to look at as you float on by. You all come, and then you go, sooner or later.
You didn't like the slight emphasis on the word go, but you know what he meant.
So, for me, you'll be Little Cloud. Capiche?
Well, who are you to argue with literal death? I wonder how many nicknames you'll get through your time here, Lost One.
I'll take that as thanks, Morty. I love it. You're so cool and handsome. To which I say, you're so very welcome.
Bit of a stretch. And to what do we owe the great pleasure of such humble company?
Nothing. I just wanted to catch up and give you all the hot gossip on some of the recent deaths I got to partake in.
Oh, must you?
Nah, come on. I take pride in my work, sweet cheeks. Just come gather around and listen to old Morty for a bit. Not like there's many folks I get to actually talk to. I mean, unprofessionally, if you know what I mean.
Well, are we actually feeling a little sad for death because he's lonely? I don't know what you guys are complaining about. Morty always has the best stories. Remember the one about Andy Kaufman? That was hilarious.
Alright, to be fair, that was mostly because of Andy. That man was a treasure. I almost didn't want to take him. But you know, I don't really get to control that and all. Whatever. You know, he was doing impressions that were just about keeling me over.
You should have stopped by here on your way. On the way where?
Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe next time, eh? But for now, I gotta tell you, I got the call. You know, the call. And so I go off and do my work and all, but the person I'm called for? Fucking Betty White. Now talk about a conflict. Me and a few of the other deaths had a bet on how she would go, and I never thought that I would be the one to get her in the end. That was wild.
No way. Did you at least win the bet?
Oh, hell no. I thought she would die flipping over a race car in an illegal street race, or go paragliding over a volcano or some crazy shit like that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that sounds about right. What?
Oh, speaking of illegal street races, you wouldn't believe the crash that I saw the other day. Bodies everywhere and...
Okay, that's enough. At least give our new friend here a break to process meeting you before you go into the gory details.
Hey, anything for you, sweet cheeks. Sorry about that, Little Cloud. Don't want to scare you to death.
He laughs brightly at his own joke, along with Fae, while Nichole gives the slight shake of her head with a partial sigh. She seems to be doing her best to be cordial.
Alright, I'll spare you the bloody details. I'll just say it took a couple of us to clean up all them souls after it was done.
You interject with a reasonable question of where you take the souls, but Morty just gives you a little wink as he replies.
You'll see someday, Little Cloud.
That was not the answer you wanted to hear, and you suddenly no longer wish to ask any more questions. So how long you hanging around, Morty?
Not too long. Me and the other deaths got a thing we gotta do. I'm looking forward to it.
A thing?
Just a thing for us deaths. You know, it's like, I don't know, like a convention of sorts. But, you know, I could make an exception for you, sweet cheeks, if you wanted to come along.
Even if I wanted to, Morty, you know I shouldn't.
Hey, a guy's gotta try, don't he? Well, alright. I'm gonna go hit the road. I'll be seeing you folks around. I do enjoy my quick visits.
See you later, Morty. Get into some trouble for us while you're out.
You mean the usual, eh? I gotcha, Faye. Keep my seats warm for me, yeah?
With that, Morty leaves the way he came, walking through the basement door, and suddenly it was just as quiet and simple as it was before Morty arrived. After a small pause, you ask a simple, "What the fuck was that about?" "Oh, you mean Nicky and Morty?" Hey, no, Faye. That's because Morty has a bit of a crush on our little Nicky here. That was not what you meant, but this is far more interesting. He doesn't have a crush on me. The pause is almost tangible, while everyone in the room just looks at Nichole before she relents. Fine, he's got a crush on me, but I'm not interested, and it's complicated. Yeah, whatever you say, Nikki. Just keep losing at your card game, Fae. This draws Faye's expression into a pout of defiance. Oh, I'm not gonna lose this time. Get ready to get Uno'd, kid. It seems Faye is eager to move on to another game, but you can see Nichole at the bar, running her fingers into her hair as she hunches over it. Walter slides a glass under her face, and she looks up to take it wordlessly. Curiosity stabs at you relentlessly, but now does not seem to be the time to ask her. Instead, let's show Faye how to really play this game, shall we? What do you mean? I told you it's not cheating. It's using the tools you have. Fine. I'll let you play by yourself this time. After a grueling session of losing about 3 games, you give up and tell Faye that you need a break. Should I say it, or should we move on? Fine then, we move on. I told you I would win after I warmed up a bit. Faye seems rather satisfied with herself. Alright, Faye, are you gonna handle that thing I asked you about earlier? Oh, yeah, I guess I should. Wait, Faye does something? Don't worry about it, kid. Just work and all that. Work? Alright, I'll be back later. Don't wait up for me, etc. And there she goes, down into the damn basement. When you ask Nichole where she's going, she shakes her head and waves her hand in a slight dismissal of the question. No, don't worry about it. It's nothing you need to worry about for now. I'm sure you have questions about something else. She speaks to you as she takes a seat at the table beside you, expectant. And you ask about Morty. Yeah, I do want to explain. I know I wasn't myself when he was here. It's hard to be. But it's nothing that he did, not directly anyway. He was just doing his job. You start to see what she might be hinting at, but you let her continue anyway. Morty, well, he's charming, of course he is. Funny too. You know, he picked that name Morty because of the word mori, which means to die. It's so simple and a little silly, but clever. It's just like him. And I was curious about him. More than that, I was interested. His little visits were fun. You know, he came and told stories, and we got to know each other through them. The visits were usually spread out, starting a long time ago. Even before Faye came around. And then it was just me, Shade, Walter, and there was another. He was someone else that was lost, sort of like you. We grew up to be good friends, and I was less strict while he was here. Russell was his name. You let the pause linger for a moment, before asking the question that you think you already know the answer to. Yeah, he died in a way. It's difficult to explain completely. Just know that something happened that affected every physical rendition of him, like a ripple effect throughout every universe. He wasn't supposed to suffer such tragedy, but I digress. I couldn't save him from what happened. And Morty, Morty showed up. I begged him not to take Russell, but not to take him just because I wasn't good enough. But of course he didn't have a choice. I couldn't hold it against him, but I can't help but feel the weight of it in my chest. Like my own guilt just dragging me down. I keep saying I'll get over it, but it hasn't happened yet. And I'm scared that something like that will happen to you, or Faye, or anyone, really. You know, things repeat, especially with so much time going by. So that's why I have all these rules I tell you to follow. This place is dangerous, but it's the only place you have right now. With a gentle tone and soft touch of your hand on her arm, you reassure Nichole that you understand, and tell her that you'll do your best to listen to her warning. And she smiles lightly, obvious thanks showing on her gentle features. Thank you. Faye knows the story, but she doesn't blame Morty, which she shouldn't, of course, but she keeps trying to get me to open up again, even just as a friend. Anyway, I'll get there. For now, let's move on. You can see that she just wants to get away from the subject for now, and you let her put it to the side in lieu of something else. Want to help me clean up the sand bunnies off the roof again? I saw them up there this morning, and, if they build up too much, they might damage the roof. You remember the last time when you were kicking off tumbling balls of sentient sand from the roof, and quickly nod your head in agreement as Nichole stands up. Great, okay, let's go. And, thanks for listening. With that, she turns to lead you both to the roof. I wish I knew why we were both out here in this place. But with how stressed out Nichole seems to be, part of me thinks it has something to do with needing to help her. It sounds strange, but everything in this place is strange. Yeah, I guess you're right. We'll just have to wait and see.